One by one, Egypt's towns welcomed the Nubian king.
Thebes embraced the Kushites as rightful restorers. Only the Delta still resisted the coming change. The fight for Egypt's future reached its climax. Two visions of Egypt faced one another. But the will of Kush proved unbreakable.
Resistance collapsed as its leader abandoned the fight.
Pie became master of all Egypt, south and north. Assyria demanded submission. Egypt refused. Their first invasion began, but Egypt still stood firm. The Nubian pharaohs pushed them back. But the empire of Assyria did not forget. A second storm marched toward Egypt.
This time, they came prepared.
Egypt met them with all its remaining strength. The people braced for disaster. Assyria overwhelmed the Delta cities.
Memphis fell. The heart of Egypt trembled.
Pharaoh Taharka refused to surrender. Assyria declared victory too early. The Nubians rallied for one final stand. This period brought rapid changes across the land.
Thebes, the holy city, suffered greatly.
The Nubian dynasty withdrew, not defeated, but displaced.
A new power rose, the 26th dynasty of Sais. For a moment, Egypt breathed again. Under Psamtik I, Egypt revived its ancient pride.
New ideas flowed in. Egypt opened to the world.
Art regained its former beauty. But new threats gathered beyond the sea. Babylon tested Egypt's resolve. Amasis restored strength, the last great pharaoh. A new presence began to take shape in the region. Persia set its eyes on the Nile. And in 525 BCE, the final storm arrived. Thus ended the age of the pharaohs. But Egypt's soul endured, everlasting, unbroken. The new kingdom's glory dimmed. Egypt entered an age of uncertainty. Power slowly shifted from pharaohs to priests. The Amun priesthood grew richer than the kings they served. Ramses II struggled to hold his kingdom together. Civil authority clashed with spiritual power. Egypt split into two power blocks, North versus South. Temples owned nearly half the nation's wealth. Over time, resources shifted and influence took new forms. The symbols of kingship weakened, yet the past still demanded respect. In times of scarcity, priests became the protectors of the people. Their wealth and influence were unmatched. Political unity fractured, and trust dissolved. Communication between regions became strained.
The Nile's unpredictable behavior worsened instability.
Trade collapsed, leaving Egypt isolated. Pharaohs still ruled in name, but held little real power.
Religion remained the heart of Egyptian life.
People turned to priests, not kings, for solutions. A new power figure emerged, Herihor. A priest who acted like a king, without the throne.
Military loyalty shifted away from the pharaoh.
Egypt formally split into two rival kingdoms. Daily life became tangled in political barriers. Temples glowed with life, while royal halls fell silent. Priests took over functions once reserved for kings. Egypt's influence beyond its borders faded rapidly.
Ordinary Egyptians felt the weight of the changing world.
Faith remained strong, even as the kingdom weakened. In this era, leadership roles in Upper Egypt continued to evolve. In the north, rulers tried to stabilize life through strict reforms. Economic hardships remained visible in every village. Egypt's frontiers weakened, opening doors to foreign ambitions. Libyan tribes slowly entered and settled Egyptian lands.
At first, their presence felt peaceful, even helpful.
But over time, Libyan chiefs gained political influence. Northern politics became a complex mix of cultures and ambitions. Temple taxation weighed heavily on ordinary Egyptians. The priesthood ruled with both faith and bureaucracy.
Pharaohs still built grandeur, but true power had slipped away.
Infrastructure projects struggled to keep pace with decline. Egypt's once smooth trade networks became unpredictable. Local religious practices grew as national unity faded. The government relied increasingly on Libyan warriors. Cultural blending reshaped the face of Egypt. Libyan chiefs gained legal authority within delta towns. Southern Egypt continued to operate as a priest-run state. Frontier defenses weakened as resources dried up. Merchants faced rising dangers and unpredictable taxes. Egypt quietly looked south for allies. In the delta,
power shifted firmly into Libyan hands.
New leaders emerged, ambitious, foreign-born, and determined. People questioned whether the country could be whole again. Libyan influence extended into religious life as well.
By mid-century, Libyans dominated northern politics.
The South prepared to defend its identity at any cost. A new storm approached. Egypt's next transformation was near. Egypt shrank, year after year.
Libyan families now controlled the delta with confidence.
Among them rose a commander with grand ambitions, Shoshenq. Meanwhile, the South braced for inevitable conflict. Daily life mixed cultures into something new and unstable.
He had the soldiers, and soon, the throne.
Thebes struggled to maintain spiritual authority. A Libyan dynasty had begun. He extended Egypt's reach through bold forest expeditions. For the first time in decades, wealth flowed northward again. In the south, temples watched the new power with caution. Resistance remained, but weakened. The Libyan pharaohs engraved themselves into Egypt's legacy. The armies blended cultures more than any temple could.
Heavy taxes returned, rebuilding the state and burdening the poor.
A divided prosperity took shape.
Even kings struggled to control the priesthood.
Shoshenq restored parts of Egypt's old military pride. But Thebes countered with the power of faith. Diplomacy replaced battles temporarily. His victories immortalized in bold hieroglyphs. Within 2 centuries, the foreign became familiar. But unity was fragile and slipping. Neighboring empires sensed opportunity. The delta fractured into competing factions. The South tried to reclaim its ancient authority. Egypt relied more on outsiders than ever before. A greater threat drew near, from even farther lands. Storms gathered over a weakened throne. Egypt split among competing kings. Thebes insisted only the gods could unite the land. From the south, a new force approached. Kashta dreamed of restoring order under his banner. His warriors trained with fierce unity. Thebes sought protection from the Nubian kings. And so, the Nile carried a new dynasty upstream.
a symbolic victory.
As religion fell into Nubian hands. Egypt's rulers fought each other, blind to the coming wave.
Pi believed Egypt deserved unity, not chaos.
He marched not to conquer, but to restore. Egypt welcomed him more than it resisted. He honored Egypt's faith more than its own kings had done. His words celebrated victory without cruelty. Under the 25th dynasty, Egypt breathed again. Monuments rose with new life. Yet beyond the desert, an empire watched. The world's most ruthless army prepared for war. Egypt met a terrifying enemy.
For the first time, Egypt fell to a foreign invader.
Its sacred halls echoed with foreign boots. But the Nubian kings would not kneel. The land once unified fell into pieces again. Egyptians fought to reclaim their homeland. Life continued, even under shifting rulers. But a new empire rose, larger than all who came before. And so, after 3,000 years of glory, the pharaoh's age came to an end. Egypt's independence trembled as Persia advanced.
A new foreign power claimed the throne of the pharaohs.
Within months, Egypt's old order shifted. Persian satraps took control of Egypt's heartlands. The temples survived, but under new masters. Spiritual authority began to clash with foreign rule.
Heavy taxes weighed on the common people.
Egypt became a strategic front in Persia's vast empire. Policies changed with every new king in distant lands. Whispers of rebellion grew. Hope for freedom came from across the sea.
Egypt prepared to rise.
A bold rebellion erupted, striking the Persian hold.
For 5 long years, Egypt fought fiercely. But Persia's retaliation was overwhelming. Rebellion faded, but not the Egyptian spirit. Even under foreign rule, culture endured. The world's greatest minds sought Egypt's wisdom. Cultures began to merge. Ancient rituals kept the past alive. A sudden spark of victory. Egypt rose again.
For the first time in a century, liberation!
Egypt reclaimed its voice. A powerful new dynasty fought to keep independence.